there, my name is Chelsea Kinsella, and today I thought I would talk to you about how to fix steering in your horse. So he's had that problem. This is my Sail Canadian. He's a little bit panty right now because he's had to do a little bit of work. But I remembered to bring my iPad out. So how to fix the steering in your horse. So what I mean by that is he had 30 days on him when he was 3 and then kind of sat. So for whatever reason, his steering wasn't very good. So there's various components to steering, right? So first, for steering, they have to be able to have lateral flexion and be soft. So what I'm always harping about, they have to come over mentally with their lateral flexion. And then they have to be able to disengage their hind. So they have to come around, and you have to have them be able to do that. So that's one of the two main components of steering. So that's be the first things that I do when I work on my first ride on a young horse, is just that little movement. So then the steering just kind of comes naturally if that's really good. However, if those aren't very good on your horse, then your horse might have a tendency, like he did, to have his head turned one way. So say I want him to go to the right, but he would kind of turn like this. So he would blow out his shoulder, yes? So his nose wouldn't really follow he wouldn't really follow his nose. He'd just kind of go like this. So to fix that, you have to turn them until their shoulder is actually turned that way. So if he's going like this, you don't want to release because that's not a turn. He has to actually turn his shoulders. So you have to do that quite a bit. It's quite a bit of repetition. So I'll show you on him, and then again, since I don't think my microphone will reach all the way to where I'm riding, I'll just show you and then I can come back and talk about it. But that's the basis of it. I'm going to get on him, and I'm going to ask him to go. He's a lot better about it now because I kind of forgot to do this fun little demonstration when he was really bad. It just slipped my mind, but I thought about it the other day. So if I'm not on him, he will do it. So yesterday he was quite terrible about it. So he's a little bit better today because I was pretty on him hard. And so it's the same thing too. You don't want to release until your horse is doing what you want them to do. So say he was really bad yesterday for going on, he would lean on my one leg or the other. So you don't release. So if I wanted him to move over to the right, I wouldn't release my left leg until he's actually moved his body over. And you can either do little, not kicks, but wiggle your leg a little bit. So it's more of their idea to move over versus pushing them over. But either does work. But either way, you don't want to release until you've actually moved them over. And the same for the other side. Don't release anything until the horse is actually moved over. And then once they have, then you can release all your aids and then continue on again. And so for a horse like him, we continue for 3 steps and we'd have to do it again. So it was just yesterday that he was pretty bad, but he's getting really good. Yesterday was just a weird day, I think, for him. Anyway, I'm going to go get on, and I will show you how to get your horse to steer properly. Oh, he is a ways up there. All right. There, I'll take that as a turn because he actually moved his shoulders over. Let's do it again on this side. And I have no leg on. It's just right. So he hasn't turned. He hasn't turned. He hasn't turned. He still hasn't turned. Hasn't turned. And there he turned. And so you can see that it looks like he's turning, but you can, he's not as bad as he was, but there is not a good turn there. Like he's not following his nose completely. And so like I'm not sure if you could hear, but I didn't have any leg on there. So I'll show you with some leg, and he's a lot better, and it goes quicker when you have your aids on, when you have more than just your reins, right? So I'll do that. And so what we're doing when we're going around a turn is I'm using my inside leg to shape his body and my outside leg to keep him from ducking out and like keeping his haunch in, yes? So your horse has to know what the inside leg means before you use your inside leg, but this is assuming your horse knows the inside leg. And you can see his turns will be much nicer. There's like a plastic sheet right there, and he doesn't much like that. There we go. So I hope that helps. I'll just wait for the tractor to go by. So I'm not sure if you heard me yelling. I was trying to elevate my voice. Anyway, so the last set of turns was with the inside leg, and you could inside and outside leg. So you could see he actually turned a lot nicer, and he was a little bit, he gave to the bit and such. So the other ones was just with the rein, and you could see, especially when we went to the left, he would go out like this, and it'd take quite some turns before he actually followed his nose and with his shoulders and turned with his shoulders and his mind. So that's what you have to wait for if you don't use your legs. So he wasn't very good with the leg at the beginning. He couldn't do it with the legs and the reins. Now we're just kind of working on both, but I use my legs now because he is off to his hopefully a new home soon. Anyway, I hope that helps with your steering, and it's pretty important, and it's really important to get these legs here really good at working off your legs, because they are a lot more helpful than your reins. So I will talk to you soon.